Welcome again to the Chris, Wanda, and Liam show. This is going to be a little bit of a potpourri. This is actually just so I don't get accused of trying to make my show match the matches, so to speak. We're at halftime of the Italy-Costa Rica game. So this is a Italy-Costa Rica, kind of where I see it going. This is a post-match of the England-Uraguay game and the Cote d'Ivoire Colombia game, and an admission that after a 0-0 Greek-Japan match at 1 in the morning, I went to sleep. So, and I have to admit, I have to start my show off with this being the Chris, Wanda, and Liam show. As I said, Wanda and Liam should be joining me shortly, as in a week I will be flying to New York and catch the elimination games of the World Cup with them before coming back to the Middle East for Ramadan. Oh, joy, oh, fun. So, my wife, Wanda, blasted me because she's the one who tells me that it is I who say it is a coach who comes up with the strategy, the tactics, and the lineup. And she's also the one who reminded me saying the team takes on the personality of the coach many times. So at my comment that Spain would be done for 4 to 6 years, I received I don't know what I'm talking about. That was an extremely talented team. It was the Boost got the wrong personnel and the wrong tactics out there. And to an extent, I have to agree with her. How they used Costa doesn't go into, what is it, the tiki-tac, or what tiki-taka offense is now the name of this thing, and he doesn't. And my words were, he's not a Dabusk player, in other words. He's a little more, he's a big physical guy. He did very well with getting feeds with Atletico Madrid from Cote or from Wanda or from David Villa or from, was it Joey? They had another guy who was actually a pretty decent scorer up. But it was a partnership up front. It wasn't just one front, Diego Costa all on his lonesome. And as you watched it, when he got the ball, he always seemed to be not with partners, and he always seemed to be getting the ball where he wasn't comfortable. So again, the tactics to the players, to the lineup, Wanda will tell you when she comes on, and maybe she's going to put out her own YouTube until we get together, is that was just blown by Dabusk. Not that team is, a problem. She's a big fan of Pollo. Pollo with the knee is done. David Villa, I would probably say, wasn't done. Next World Cup probably is. But she's the one who said, put Costa out there. He needed somebody else. Could you have Costa and Torres as two front forwards? Don't go 4-4-2, because the midfield obviously did not do well against Chile's lineup. So where I think Spain is going to be 5 or 6 years where they're not going to be a powerhouse, she still believes so if you change the coach. So I had to put that out there as a disagreement, future for the Chris, Wanda, and Liam show. And also, to add a little bit, yes, I firmly believe that the teams of very good coaches or very bad coaches take on their personalities. I believe even with Alex Ferguson is all-out attacking style, that team took on his personality. I saw that with Chelsea. Unfortunately, I love Mourinho, but where I always say Mourinho and Ferguson differed was Mourinho sometimes plays for the draw, and I never think that's a good idea. And I'll quote Ferguson from his book, he never played for a draw in his life. If you look at the team of this Italian coach, again, his personality is a nice suit, looks good. They tend not to play, they play a little dirty ball, but they don't like physical ball. And I think you can intimidate this Italian team. I think it's kind of it plays like a wimpy team, and I think Costa Rica is taking advantage of that. But again, that is my philosophy. Look at the difference between Manchester United, same team pretty much, under Alex Ferguson and David the Mope Moyes. They were a Mope team under him. And then look at the personality they were under Ryan Giggs. Okay? Totally different personality. Giggs still needed to almost, to play wide. He almost had to treat the team as if they were a first or third grade team, where you basically say, look, stay wide. I want you to put your feet on the end, on the sideline. That keeps you wide. So, a little bit of discussion, my philosophy of football. Okay, let's do this quickly because it is halftime. England, Uruguay. I did get the games wrong. I thought England may have been playing Costa Rica, but I was also, for all those who saw my show, I said England, while I'm rooting for them, is going to struggle. Okay? If you look at the game, and I was talking about Uruguay playing the other team, but I also said, look, Suarez is the big guy. And mind you, I'm not saying anything that I haven't heard 12 other analysts say. But it was the Suarez-Cavani partnership that worked, because I don't think Uruguay played all that good of football. Okay? Again, let's go to the coach statement I just made. When you look at England, they have talent. I just don't like their coach. I don't like the tactics they use. They do not play aggressively. I'm not a big fan of Danny Welbeck because he always goes for the spectacular. But here's a guy with talent and speed to burn. Sterling's the same way, although he's a little not durable. Sturridge, Rooney, Gerrard, I look at them and I think they have scoring potential, but in the format that Hudson runs, of this kind of counter, not attacking method, think defensive first, I think they limit themselves. Uruguay sat back. They didn't do anything spectacular. They defended, and what happened? Let's see. The ball gets stolen. Gerrard misses a tackle. They get a break. The ball goes to Cavani. Nobody comes out to defend him. There's a guy on him. They had numbers. You have to pressure the ball. Did we forget to teach that again? Yes, I think we do. They don't pressure the ball. Cavani pretty much can sit out there, order a beer, and then do a nice little cross. Admittedly, great pass. When you're open, you can make those passes. Unbelievable header by Suarez. He's been doing it all year. Those England players should know that, since they've seen him do it at Liverpool all year. And it was just, Hart couldn't stop it. The center defender let Suarez get behind him. It wasn't like he sprinted through. It wasn't like he didn't see him. He was right there. The back defender saw him run through, didn't close. There was nobody there. England defense falls down. Now, England fights back. They get the ball in Rooney to tie it, and then they stop. Coaching. Okay? I don't know what the English press, because I did other things today here at beautiful Saudi Arabia. I didn't go on the internet, but England right now, given the game with Costa Rica and Italy, I think if Costa Rica wins, England's done. But they deserve to be done. They're a talented team. They're a talented team, I felt, in 06, even with losing Michael Owen. And they should have gone farther than the quarters. Coaching. Okay? And I hate to say it, part of my heritage, English-Irish father, mother who was Irish, part English, German, French, and I think Belgium or something. My mother's side was quite sporting, I guess. But, I consider, as an American, my heritage back there, and I'm highly disappointed in their, I don't want to say their effort, but their preparedness. And the second goal, was that Obviously, Gerard missed the header, but Cavani flew in front of him, which is smart play. But the defender behind him, you got to talk. He should have been saying, let it through. Let it through. Again, Suarez does that move all the time. He anticipates the missed ball, and he buries it. The talking heads thought Hart should have stopped it. I'll leave that to others. Obviously, he was there. He had an angle. The ball was, bouncing a bit, and you figure Suarez shoots high a lot, but it would have been a tough save. A defensive breakdown. So it looks like Uruguay, it was the strikers came through. They didn't do anything special. Now, how it is affected with this Italy game. Obviously, I believe if Costa Rica wins, it would give them 6 points, Italy with 3, Uruguay with 3, and England with nothing. So Costa Rica then plays England. England will have to win that game to give them 3 points, but somebody in the other game is going to win. So I'm pretty sure, again, doing the math, Italy has to win for England to have a shot. Costa Rica-Italy game, I see. Again, my mistake. I did not see the first Italy-England game. It was 1 a.m. here, and as like I said, I have another job. So I have to get up in the morning. And therefore, I only saw part of the first half. I'm going by what people, the Chris Wanda and Liam show, Wanda and Liam, their analysis, which I've said. But here's the thing. I saw part of the game. I didn't think Buffon was the starting goalie for Italy. If he was, my mistake. If he wasn't, he's playing in this game. Italy is going with Pirlo and Motta in the middle instead of the 19, 20-year-old who plays at PSG. Not Lavezzi. I'll get his name right. But Verratti. That was a smart move. I guess he struggled in the first game, and he was taken out in the 50th minute. Pirlo said he struggled. And, that was, I think, a smart move because, quite frankly, Verratti, I'm going to use the Bull Durham line and change a baseball line to a football line, $1 million foot, 5-cent head. So they've made a move. They're coming in with a sub. Their big guy, Baratelli, up front, had a couple of opportunities, was stopped on probably his best. But this Costa Rica team was given, a blown call on Cialini on this, I want to say Chandler, I'm forgetting his name, the front forward on Costa Rica. He's a handful. Costa Rica is playing very disciplined, very smart football. And that should have been a penalty. They didn't get it, but they hung tough. Beautiful cross, beautiful header on the goal. Hits the crossbar and drops in. Buffon beaten, but again, they went over the top. They have to watch out for this one striker they use. Costa Rica, they're starting, so I'm going to make this quick. Came out, if I'm Italy with Uruguay to play, you sure want to win this game or eke out a draw. You do not want to lose this game because their number. England's might be going home, probably is going home. Spain is going home. Europe is not faring well in this World Cup. So I think the Italians need to play with a sense of urgency. Okay, so let's see what happens. I'm going to go to the easy one. Japan, Greece. I don't even know the score. I didn't even look. Both those teams did not impress me. Japan pushed pace. They didn't take any chances. Greece just doesn't generate offense. So it was 0-0 throughout the 60th minute when I finally passed out and said, I've had enough. And it was 2 a.m. So we'll see. Obviously, the game that was the key to that was Colombia, Cote d'Ivoire. Colombia 2 goals. Cote d'Ivoire came back. They put Drogba in. Drogba, I guess, was not a factor. Germain or Germino very good player. And Cote d'Ivoire's got some good players. Yaya Toure plays with Manchester City, a very skilled goalie. I think those are the two teams who will go through, but depends on what. If Greece-Japan was a draw, then they each have 1 point, and Colombia's through with 6, and then it's who's going through second. My pick is Cote d'Ivoire, but it'll be an interesting group. Colombia hasn't done much in 16 years, but I've always seen them. They have talent. They have a lot of talent, but again, they came down to the last game to qualify. It's who gets hot at the right time. So that was the other game. So we're going to watch the second half here of Italy, Costa Rica. And later we've got Switzerland, France, which I think will be a great game. From what I'm hearing from Wanda, is Frank Ribery is out, will not be playing, but Benzema played big in their first game against Honduras. I also like Griezmann. Griezmann's got some hops in his feet. He got some pretty big elevation, and he can be a scoring threat on headers. Valbuena played a very solid game. Matuidi plays with PSG. Matuti's kind of this on-and-off player for me. He's always active, always has great energy, but sometimes the play's going one way, he's running another. So he's very entertaining to me. But it's funny, when big plays, he makes big plays. In the middle, you have Varane, you have Sanyo, I believe, in the middle, and Patrice Evra on the left, and the slow white guy on the right. I like the defender with Arsenal. So he's not playing him, but France, again, I think they're going to go far in this tournament. But the Swiss are downplaying. They're the team. We're not. The Swiss are ranked higher. It should be a really decent game. So that's the second game, and then I think the third game is Honduras versus Ecuador. South America, Central America type. Ecuador, I think I've seen them play. They're very quick. They should have won the game against, or at least draw with Switzerland. They packed it up in the last 10 minutes. A lot of talent, a lot of speed, not a lot of discipline. But Honduras, I don't think, is much better. So those are the games. And as I said, I'm going to go see what's happening here. Still 1-0 Costa Rica. So, we will talk more, I'm sure, about Spain with the Chris Wanda and Liam show, and talk about a few other players my wife mentioned, whether you look at a person like Mata or Cordzola, who played with Arsenal, and Matu was with Chelsea for a while, came over to Man United. Are they the future of Spain, and will they still be a powerhouse? I'm sure it's an interesting discussion also for getting ready for league play after the World Cup. So happy World Cup, and we'll broadcast more later.